Hello everyone, welcome to Engineering Maths by Vivek. In this video lecture, we are going to cover the binomial distribution in the probability, which is very important for the higher mathematics students, or this is a very important for exam point of view if we talking about the syllabus also and in any competition exam also. So let's start today's video. Moment generating function. First of all, before going deep into the binomial distribution, I would like to give you a brief about the moment generating function. So the moment generating function of a discrete probability distribution is given as m of met equals to summation probability I e power t x minus a, where a is any arbitrary chosen number and pi represent probability of any event probability of any event when we take different values of a random variable. So I hope you are aware about the random variables. I'm not going to cover in this video regarding the random variables because I have already uploaded the video. You can watch that video, and I have already uploaded a complete video regarding that how the moment generating function work and how we can find the different moments. Now moving to the binomial distribution. So before start, I would like to give a brief about binomial distribution formula also, because some of the student I hope are not able to remember the binomial distribution formula. So binomial simply means that we are considering two terms, like there are two terms x plus y power n. So if we are expanding it binomially, it simply means that the power of x is going to decrease and simultaneously the power of y going to increase by 1 in every successive term. Like it will be x power n y0 plus nc1 x power n minus 1 y1 plus nc2 x power n minus 2 y square, and so on, and last we get ncn, there is no power of x and all the power of y. So I think this is clear. Now let's move to the binomial distribution. So there is a term repeated trials. What does it mean? Repeated trials means when a coin is tossed three times, then we know that the sample space, and we are also aware about that at every toss we have head and tail. Apart from head and tail, we are not expecting any other outcome. So if we are taking the three times, means 3 represent the trials, means how many trials we are doing. And if we are interested in getting head, then we are actually considering head as success, and it is denoted by V, it is denoted by P. So whenever there is a success, it is accomplished by failure. So failure means not getting tail, it means not getting head actually. You must be very clear about it. Not getting head. So it is generally represented by Q. So the complete probability in this section we can say that is P plus Q power n. Okay. Now if you are interested in head, as I told you, so it will be, that is total probability will be, that is 3 times half power cube, or we can say that probability of getting head is half every time. Probability of getting half every time, and it is actually it is actually the probability of getting head at every step. That is, when the coin is tossed one time, we can get head with probability half, we can get head in the second trial with probability half, and we can get the head in third trial also with probability half. So total probability will be, that is 3 into 1 power, that is 1 by 2 power cube. I think this is clear to you, that this represent the total probability. This represent the total probability. In the similar manner, if a trial is repeated n times rather than 3 times, now we are repeating it n times, that is finite times, and P represent getting success and Q represent not getting success. So having R successes, if we are interested in R successes, then it is actually given by the binomial formula NCR P power R success and Q n minus R not successes. So this is the probability of getting R successes. I hope this is clear to you. Now coming to the binomial distribution concept. So the binomial represent, as I told you, two terms, that is P plus Q power n. We are having n trials. So it is actually given as NC0 P power n Q power 0 plus NC1 P power n minus 1 Q power 1 plus NC2 P power n minus 2 Q2, and so on, and last we get NCn Q power n and P power 0. So it is actually equivalent to as I told you, it is actually equivalent to P plus Q, and we know that P plus going to be equals to 1, so it is also called the total probability. That is, the sum of total probability will be NC1 P power n minus 1 Q1, and so on, NCn Q power n P0. It is the sum of total probability, which is already, we know that it is going to be equal to 1. So I hope this is clear. Now moments, which is very important. So the moment generating function about the origin is given as, so in the starting of this video, this arbitrary constant function, arbitrary value has been replaced with 0, so we are having only, that is, expectation of e power t, which was x minus a. Now a has become 0, so we can simply write it is expectation of e power tx. I hope this is clear. And if we are taking the expectation of e power tx, we are talking about the probability. So it is a discrete case, so it will be NCx, that is x successes, P power x q n minus x into e power tx. I hope this is clear, where n vary from 0 to n, and x represent the successes, how many times we want the successes. Okay, success counting, or we can say success counting, how many times we want the success, means out of 5 trial we want 3 times at least head, so x represent the number of times we want head. Okay, so this is the formula for moment generating function in the binomial distribution case. Now if we rearrange the terms, we can say this is also having x and this is also having x, so we can write that is m naught t equals to summation of ncx into p e power t x into q n minus x. And if we closely look at it, the number of terms will be n, and we are having x successes or x trials. So we can write it in the binomial form like q plus p e power t n. I hope this is clear to you. Now p has been replaced by p e power t, because here we have constant, that is number of terms will be equals to constant, and we have n constant and x trials. So I hope this is clear. Now if we are going to expand it, or if we are interested in finding the first moment, that is differentiating with respect to t and putting t equals to 0, so we'll get that is mu1 dash, which is actually equals to n times p, or we can say that is mu1 equals to n times p. I hope this is clear to you. Now coming back to the expansion of this, how we can get the value. Okay, and also if you have studied moment generating function, I already told you in the video that if we are interested in finding the moment generating function about any point using the origin, so we can have this formula, that is e power minus at times the moment generating function about the origin. Okay, so now if we are interested in finding the moment generating function about the arbitrary point a, so it will be e power minus at, and it is given as, in the previous step it will be written as q plus p, and what we have written e power t n. So I hope this is clear. In the similar manner, if we are interested in moment about mean, so it will be, that is moment about mean is given as e power minus np times t and q plus p e power t n. This is very important to understand this step, because as I told you that mu1 was actually np, and mu1 is called the mean. So the value of x has been replaced by, that is value of mean, it is replaced by here np. So I hope this is clear. Using this formula e power minus at, now a has been replaced by np because a is the mean. Now we are interested in finding the moment about the mean, so and mean is given as this term using it is equals to np. So now we got this formula that moment about the mean is given as e power minus np t q plus p e power t times complete whole power n. Now if we expand it, or we can rearrange this term moment about mean, it is actually can be written as, that is here the power n is common, and if we are taking this into inside, so it will be q e power minus pt plus p e power qt, and it will be complete power n. Now we know that e power x will be 1 plus x upon 1 factorial plus x square upon 2 factorial and x cube upon 3 factorial, that is expansion of the series. I think you are already aware about it, and we are using this expansion in these two terms. So it will be, that is moment about mean is given as 1 plus first power will be, that is, and we are already adding in the terms, so we are writing, I am writing the complete result actually. So it will be pq t square upon 2 factorial plus pq q square minus p square t cube over 3 plus pq plus q cube t power 4 upon 4 factorial and so on. Not interested in the higher terms. Okay, now I can compare it with that is this moment about 1 plus mu 1 t plus mu 2 t square upon 2 factorial plus mu 3 t cube upon 3 factorial plus mu 4 t4 upon 4 factorial and so on. Now I have already told you that mu1 was actually, we have calculated mu1 as np. Okay, so if we compare, that is 1 plus mu1 t plus mu 2 t square upon 2 factorial plus mu 3 t cube upon 3 factorial plus mu 4 t4 upon 4 factorial, and on the right hand side we have 1 plus npq t square upon 2 factorial plus npq q minus p t cube upon 3 factorial plus, it is very important step actually, npq, it was 1 plus 3 n minus 2 pq little bit of space problem, no issue, into t power 4 upon 4 factorial. So comparing the coefficients on LHS and RHS, we get what we get, that is, we can see this one t square upon 2 factorial, that is mu2 equals to, we can simply write mu2 equals to npq. In the similar manner, mu3 will be npq q minus p, mu4 will be that is npq 1 plus 3 n minus 2 pq and so on. Now we are interested in only 4 moments, because to find the kurtosis and the other terms of the data, we are only interested in 4 moments actually. So if we talking about beta 1, so what is beta 1? So beta 1 was given as, that is mu 3 square upon mu 2 cube. It is very important in finding the skewness and the kurtosis. If you are not having this value, then you cannot find the kurtosis and the skewness. So it is important to have beta 1. So now what will be the value of beta 1? So it is actually, if we put the value here, mu 3 value was actually, so q minus p whole square upon n p cube, or we can also write in place of q 1 minus p, so 1 minus 2p square upon np cube, and beta 2 was given mu 4 upon mu 2 square. So it is actually, final result will be 3 plus 1 minus 6 pq upon np cube. I hope this is clear to you. Now mean of the binomial distribution is given by np. It is also called mu1. So SD, standard deviation, you must remember standard deviation is the square root of mean value, and it is actually NPQ. And skewness, so skewness will be 1 minus 2p under root of NPQ. How we got this value? It is actually under root of beta 1. And if we are talking about the kurtosis, it is equivalent to beta 2. So I think this is clear to you that how we can find the kurtosis and skewness in the binomial distribution. If you have any problem, then you can comment me. Don't forget to subscribe this channel. If you have liked this video, then please hit the like button and share it also. So see you and take care.